Hello there, ahoy. It is really dim. Let me see if I can fix that a little bit. There we go, bright green. It is me, Tiny Pirate, and we are playing some Factorio. And what have I been doing lately? Well, actually, I've been building spaceships. Look at these bad boys. These are spaceships in Factorio in the Space Exploration mod, and that's pretty exciting if you ask me. There's a few things that what is this setting? Is this sound? This sound seemed like it. There we go. That's better. Was there any sound at all in the last video? Goodness knows if there was. Probably wasn't, knowing me. But yeah, let me just double check. Yeah, that's fine. Good. So it has been a little while, a couple of 3 days, and I've been quite busy. And the first thing I've done is figured out how spaceships work, and we're going to go over that quite a bit this episode. But before we do that, I want to talk about the pressing issue of I have completed Science 3 for energy. I had a bit of time to do this, and it was, I don't know, I felt it was really time consuming. It was a time consuming thing to do, and I couldn't why are you stuck there? No, you're off. Good. And I just didn't know if you all wanted to see me grind slowly through the material sciences yet again, because to be honest, they're some of the most fiddly to make. So I'll just talk through it. So this was what was it, like some kind of friction science, and that wasn't too bad to bring in. There is a lot of looping resources in the materials where they take something in and then spit something out, and no, it looks actually like we're a little short on stuff, which is a shame, but hey, whatevs, that'll get sorted out. And so yeah, that was friction science. This one was a real nightmare. It produces a ton. What are we making here? Explosion shielding data. The good news is that this little build here actually produces 20 science, which is, 15 to 20 science is our goal. Oh well, not science, those data cards. The only problem is, I mean, look at how ridiculous it is. Each one of these factories takes in 50 explosives per second when it's boosted like this. And what are they short on? Yeah, material testing packs, no great surprise. What are you short on? Oh, you're just outputting beryllium problem? Are you what? Oh, alright, so production entirely stopped because... No, that's not right. That's the outbound. Where's the outbound? This one. Okay. There we go. That'll fix that one. And this one is upset because it's short of material. Okay, so that was a real build. Took ages. Then we had more down here. So this one was just... this one was awkward. This is ballistic shielding. And it just had so many precursors. In some situation here, I'm using landing pads kind of as buffers, just because they can take a lot. There's a lot of room around them, so they can take a lot of inputs and outputs. They're just big boxes, essentially. And you're short on firearms magazines. I'm sure more will turn up. And you're short on... Right? Did I not complete this build? I'm confused. Where do the firearms magazines go in? You what? I'm very confused. They go down here, go in that way. Oh, I actually never completed this one. That's peculiar. Oh, never mind. Yeah, I was going to expand this and put a whole extra bunch of rows down here because this doesn't make a lot of stuff, only 9 science per second, or 9 data cards, but this was just such a rigmarole, and the drain when this is running on material science packs is just so much, or material testing packs. So what I did instead was I just duplicated it. So I copy and pasted wherever the heck the other one is, all the way back in to, yeah, there we go, there's 2 in a row. So yeah, 2 in a row, I copy and pasted, which was just easier. Oh, this was actually one of the other ones. Where am I looking? So that was the first one, that was the second one. Oh yeah, this one's kind of cute. This is a radiation shielding. I love it. The blue glow, the green glow is cute. Again, material testing pack's a little bit backed up, but yeah, whatever. That's fine. So it's all very nice and well and good and quite adorable, and that has produced. Oh, here we go. Now that's starting to catch up. Good stuff has landed. So as you can see, also these produced an absolute metric ton of scrap, which was another reason to only have 8 factories per build. Then, what came next? A little bit of fiddling with, actually one of the ones that was kind of fun to fiddle with was the yellow barrel production, I call it. Well, I know that the science production came in here, so the Tier 3 science factory did its job just fine, and then we had yellow somewhere on here is the yellow barrel that I'm worrying about. There's the green one. For the life of me, I can't spot it. But anyway, I jammed it in so that there was even more of the data going into it to produce the, here we go. So there's now, yeah, there's now a lot more insight coming in. Everything kind of doesn't work because I haven't cleared the lines yet, but that's fine. It also doesn't really need it. We've got metric tons of insight. In terms of what tech got developed, quite a few things did. So we managed to, none of these are in any kind of reasonable order. We increased the spaceship structural integrity quite a few steps, which we'll worry about spaceships in a second. I got a radar construction pylon, which I don't really see the point of, but I wanted to research it. I got a thruster suit 3, which we're going to play with. We unlocked supercomputer 3, which I don't know if I want to fiddle with. Everything seems to be fine. Superconductive cable, which we'll need to fiddle with. Material science pack 4. Heavy composites, which we will need to make. And I think that's largely it. Probably. Yeah, that's probably fine. One final tech I thought I would let you guys watch is energy beaming, which is this whole thing. And look how quick it's going to go. Which is this whole thing around beaming energy around, as the name would suggest. Very exciting. But what I'm going to do now is build a little spaceship just to show how they work, and then we'll talk about these experiments here, because I think that'll be quite interesting to people. Spaceships are a pretty cool part of space exploration mod, and they're worth exploring and fiddling with. The only downside is I need so much fuel, like just tomorrow. That was a spaceship coming back from space, just absolute metric. Like, yeah, these spaceships just eat all the fuel. It's a little bit distressing, but we will worry about it some other time. I want to do that, and oh yeah, it's already set. Boop and boop. So energy beaming is finished, which will allow us a whole bunch of extra techs. For example, we can build an energy beamer, an energy receiver, and we have these 2 bits in between which allow us to do extra stuff. So don't quite know what I'll use this for just yet. but at some point we will. What actually I want to do as well very quickly is I'm just going to fiddle with putting everything in there. And then what I want in particular is to put that there, take everything out, put all of that in there, and then put this new level 3 suit on, which I made. Look at that grid. No, I'll turn off the... Okay, pick up all of that. What can I get rid of into my... I'm carrying around a bit of extra stuff than I would normally. Hang on, why? Okay. No, just get rid of that. Okay, let's see if we can make this work. So, we want nuclear reactors. We want... I actually want another nuclear reactor. We do want our glasses. We do want our running legs so much. And we want our jetpacks, our feet, and where are our tiny backpack modules? I'm studying. Here they are. Okay, so look, we've got all this extra room, which is just awesome. Oh man, really? Come on, game. Sort yourself out. Oh, actually, yeah, we need this, our life support. I do want another RTRG, so we'll see what we can get away with in our system here. We want another generator or 2. Yeah, whatever, so we'll take 20 of them. Oh, okay, some are on the way. We want... I'm not really worried about increasing our life support, it's fine. Yeah, sure, we'll take 20 of those. Legs, where are my magical running legs? And tier 2 batteries. Let's just see what we can get, and then we'll worry about whether or not we can even use it. So while that's all cranking away, get rid of that one. Yeah, well that's all cranking away. Let's play with spaceships. So if you haven't seen them before, actually I should show over here. This is where I've been building a few spaceship parts. So one of the things I've done as well is increase the amount of... There's no coal coming in. In theory, I've increased the amount of explosives being made on the planet because we just couldn't get enough rockets going. I have... Yeah, again, in theory... Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Let's do a... what is it? We are just we have so many parts in this place. Yes, put that one there. Okay. Yeah, so that was jammed up, so no wonder that wasn't working. But here we took these parts and we made these heavy frames. We then took these heavy frames and grabbed some composite structures to make spaceship floor. We went all the way over here with all of that stuff, and we took some glass in to make walls for spaceships, and then we took some other bits and bobs in to make doors for spaceships. So those have been our little simple spaceship manufacturing corner. Then, where are we? Here somewhere. No, not there. No, it was down there. Here somewhere we have some of the other spaceship stuff being made, like engines and bits and bobs for them. Engines, fuel tanks, consoles, the kind of low priority stuff. or the low volume stuff. So with that in mind, let's build a little spaceship, and I'll show you how it all works, and hopefully you find that interesting. So the first thing you need to do is to build floor. Let's just put down a basic grid. I'm gonna make it, what's the biggest? That's a bit ridiculous. Wish I had a little number so you could see what the grid size was. There we go. Let's pretend that's a spaceship. We will put, why have I got so many of these? Wow, 10 of them only, please, boys. Let's pretend we've got a console, right? What happens is when you click on this, it's going to tell us the name of the ship, which it's just invented, and it's going to do an integrity check. There's a lot of red because there's no walls. So we'll put a wall around it. Now these spaceship walls, they may look like your average wall in Factorio, but they are not. Start integrity check. It's now happy. Hull stress is low. So the hull stress is the size and shape of the hull, which actually does matter, compared to our tech level. So we've got a reasonable amount of tech, like 6 or 7 now. I just had it ticking up, which is nice. And container stress is how much storage the ship has on it of stuff. There are other things in here, how much energy there is for launch, which is currently none. Obviously, there's no engines or anything. How streamlined the vessel is. It is not very streamlined, and apparently we're in a thick, soupy part of space, according to the text file help. And I can do this and make it more streamlined, and it should be happier. We must leave no cracks. Start integrity check. Yeah, much happier now. More streamlined. Even though the ship is kind of stupid. And then I can set the destination. But all that is kind of terrible. So let's see what we can do here. We want to start, I'm going to make it just a little test ship, just to show you how things work. What's it showing? 40, so I guess I should be able to figure out what that means. We go like, and then do down 2, and then go like that. That'll probably do. It's kind of pointy. And I want to put a console. Actually, I don't know where I want to put a console just yet. So we have a choice of engines. This is an ion engine. It needs the particular ion gas that I enjoy. Whether there's an ion booster tank that would feed it that gas. And the other type of engine we can use is just a rocket fuel engine, basically, and it can use this tank of gas to feed it, plonk, and that would just be literal jet fuel. So when you're taking off from a planet in space exploration, this here is actually a booster tank, and what it does is imagine it has boosters underneath the ship to help it lift vertically, yoink, straight up in the air. This is what drives you through space. So it's possible to use the high efficiency ion engine in space using the ion gas fuel. It's this, where is it? Ion stream. It's this type of product that we make in space. We can use that to power once we're in space, but we use this fuel tank to land. So in theory I could rebuild this ship, or I could build this ship in space, get a bunch of fuel, and then use a bunch of electricity to drive through the space part and then land. But going to orbit from the surface is such a, not a big deal. It's expensive, always going to be expensive in jet fuel. The ion engines won't work on the ground. So we might as well just stick with one fuel type is the message. So we put an engine on. We give it a fuel, and I think I'm going to try and be a little bit compact. In this we need space pipe, so we have it to there, which should connect it up. Actually I need to be slightly larger by the looks of it, so we will put one extra all the way around, just to there. Can I make that slightly more? There we go. So that'll be fine. And then we have an underground pipe, so the way we'll load fuel in is underground pipe, and now that in theory is a working thing of some kind. I hate the angle, the way things look at an angle on this, I must admit. Now this is going to be a very basic spaceship. we are not going to take away that. We're not going to do anything too fancy. We're just going to get up. All right. And as long as the engine is poking out the back, it is happy. That's considered a working ship like that. It will need a console for us to check. So we will put, might give myself just a teeny bit of room. So now it's 100% streamlined. Beautiful. That's going to help with the speed. Everything else seems pretty good. What it's obviously lacking is something very important. What I like to call a door. But thankfully, we have these beautiful door tiles here. So now I can come in and out. And the other cool thing is I have got some fuel ready to go. So we might as well pump this lot. I'll just get past my train experimenting. Like this. And we will just go all the way up to the side of the ship. So we'll make this real simple. And then we'll talk about some of the really cool edge cases and more advanced things you can do. Look how fast the game is running right now. I've been fiddling around with it on my laptop a bit, and that has been pretty painful. So it's really nice to see it running so cool. Now, I think it's kind of good practice to put a final pump in so that stuff doesn't get drawn out, which I have had on multiple ships. So now it's going to slowly fill up, and I can set a destination here, Nalvis orbit. It won't actually fly, but I can at least look at the numbers. Start checking. It will need 125 gigajoules of fuel. 30 is currently stored. So that's a thing. And as we add more weight and a ship size and what have you, it's going to change. So we've got this. But ships need more than just the stuff and powers. Actually, let's just check what it said. 30 gigajoules to get to orbit. Okay, that's fine. One of the things I think is nice to have is a bit of power for your ship. And you also will want a pylon in the middle of your ship. Yes, I know, it looks weird. And I'm going to chuck on... Where can I easily fit a couple of them? Oh, and of course it's my luck. It's the middle of the night. It's just starting to change now, so we should start charging. There we go. So we'll get those all charged up, which will help. The other thing the ship needs is actually probably only needs one of those, to be honest. It's a pretty simple ship. It's my hunch. Just for like ferrying between orbits and stuff and having a little drive around. Oh look, we've got all this kind of stuff on us now. Okay, let's go with Boku power. Lots of that. All of that. Do we want more? I kind of... it's... What is that? 25, so 150, shall we say? That means modifying the drones up to 150. 150 at once is kind of bananas. Where are you, drones? Actually, do I even list drones in here? I do. Bam. Okay, let's save this before I forget. I've reconfigured them all, right? So, we can also fly in the spaceship, which is kind of cute. It doesn't feel that much faster in space, but on ground, phenomenal. So we have this ship, it's going well, but in space you face asteroids floating around. So you need, and of course it's not quite wide enough for two, and neither is it. That's going to bug me so much, I'm actually going to fix it. There we go. I want to have two at the front, and one of them not centered was not good enough. There we go. Okay, we're gonna maybe put 4 guns on. Oh, that should be plenty. Can one of these... Okay. Asymmetric ship is probably better anyway. So, we are now so close to being ready. These will shoot out the meteorites. The fuel is there. Let's do a stress check again. We now need... oh, really? That's a lot of extra fuel. 100... You know, I reckon we can probably take these out. What does it look like now? 128 is required. Oh, is it just because of the amount of fuel we're carrying? Might as well leave them in. So now what we have to do is actually to set this up well, we want to have a few... Well, actually, I think we can probably just take this off. And we shall mess around with some of the other features. Oh, there's one of my other ships returning. So, we want to go to Nauvis orbit. Yeah, let's just go. Launch. Whomp. We are now in orbit. And now I can engage the engine. So this is the very manual flying around. And on the radar in a minute, you will see some bits and bobs start to appear, some red stuff. And as they come in, the lasers will take them out. As you can see, these guys are charging with the solar panel there. Just keeping an eye on the energy draw. I'll say the lasers are fine. Occasionally you'll see them... oh, we're already there. We were going so quick. Now this orbit. We've got to choose somewhere to anchor. Oh, got to move this. This game was complicated. Hey, ZYD. Factorio itself isn't too crazy complicated, but when you add in all the junk I've added, it does make it more complicated. Like the Factorio demo is free, and I would highly recommend it. It's awesome, and you can try things out. This is adding all this weird mod to make space stuff happen. So when I get up here, I've actually got to drop choose a place to park the spaceship. So I'm going to choose to park it just here and confirm anchor, whomp, then my ship will come in. It actually now has carved out a little hole, just like these other two ships. This carving is showing the asteroid that we built across. But it's now here. The problem with this current ship design is that it doesn't allow us to anchor the ship or to use stuff automatically. So we're going to use... Well, okay, come on, ship. No. Okay, we're going to do an automated anchoring thing. So let's just do a quick structural test. Yes, it's happy. It's got enough fuel to go back to Nauvis, which will be very small amounts. So we could in theory leave, but I just want to call this one, I don't know, 66. We'll call it 66, and we'll call this one over here 66. So these two anchors are important because they're part of the logic we're going to worry about in a second. And as you can see, there's on the console there's data coming out, and that data is that this is spaceship number 5. That's what that symbol is. It's currently doing -2, which means it's docked. If I was to take away that, oh, apparently it would still say it's docked. Okay, fine. But in theory, the -2 is telling us that it's docked, landed. I'm not sure. It's doing 100 distance from the planet 747. Oh, okay, cool. So the closest thing is planet 747. We're in orbit around it. We're 100 far from it. D is how dense the asteroids are nearby, which isn't a problem. The demo, yeah. See ya, ZYD. Yeah, the demo Factorio is on Steam. And we're currently at location 748. And if I go into the Universe Explorer, Nauvis orbit, as you can see, is 748. Nauvis is a planet 747. So that's good to know. So we're going to leave and go do something else. Whomp. And if I just go back to engage the engines, we'll just run around our ship. Yum, yum, yum. Whoa, no. Oh, shivers. Just walk to clean out. Do I need to like make it harder to walk out? Actually, that's not a crazy idea. That actually looks a lot better, doesn't it? Don't you think? I think so. And I also should probably put something on the door so that it closes when it's moving. And I can do that by, I'll put a little combinator here and hook it up to the door, and we will oh, this is the part that gets a bit ugly, right? We will hook, I'll use a red wire. When the ship is when the speed is at, when speed is greater than -2, we need a combinator. What I was going to do is basically we set it so that when the speed is, basically when it's not docked, the doors automatically are locked and they unlock when the ship is docked. But hey, that's okay. We're not going to be doing a lot of that. Might actually be relevant to show you that. Decider combinator. So let's put a decider combinator here. And what we will do is connect from here to here. So if the, what does that actually want? If the speed, and we find the speed signal here, where speed is greater than -2, output, I don't know, X, we'll say, with a value of 1. And then what we'll do is, I don't know if we need to do straight to the door. Open condition X is less, is X equals 0. There we go. So because it's kind of a wrong way around of doing it, I should have done it. If it equals 2, it sends out a tick, and then if it opens on a tick. But hopefully you understand that. The ship is currently doing -1 speed. It's going nowhere, but it's not docked. Therefore, it's not -2, and because it's not -2, it's going to stay closed. So let's just get on and land this bad boy. Anchor on Nalvis. So we're doing this manually for now because we're idiots. Womp. And now the doors are going to open and they'll stay open. So let's set this one up. Now the nice thing about, we're going to set it to the same number. The nice thing about these is they actually pass power. So no longer is this like connected up to the rest of the world. These pass power and signaling through them, which is kind of cool. But what we want to do is automate some of this, right? So we have a whole ship over here doing automated stuff all the time. In fact, my fluid ship has just wandered off. So I will just have to remember to do stuff from scratch. So what we're going to do is hook up some things to this pole, and it's just a nice way to do it as a central pole. We'll do the power. We'll do the whatever it is coming off this box, which tells us where the ship is. And we don't have any... Oh, and we'll also do the power as well, just in case. It's good practice. And then we're going to have some decider combinators, which I'm going to put 1, 2, 3. I think we only need... Oh, we might need 4. I think we need 4. So I got to remember how to do this from scratch now, which is a good test. So the first thing we want to do is pass in the values to each of them. In fact, let's do it. No, that's the back. That's the back. Let's do it the smart way. So on this pole is a whole bunch of signals. They're now all being fed into here to make a decision. So the first decision we want to do is, and we're going to tell the thing to A is already being used, if you remember. So now we're outputting signal C for charge, I'm going to call it. And over here, A is for the planet. So charge should be greater than maybe 80. Output a green tick. And I stole this idea off an internet post. I'm sorry, I can't remember who said it. So it's cool. And we will put all of these things into another decider combinator. It's going to sit right. Maybe it'll sit here. And I'm going to just use a red wire to avoid any particular concerns. So if ticks equals 4, output everything. With a value of 1? I think just with a value of 1. So we've got 1 green tick coming in because charge is 80. Then we want to say if the... Actually, what is on that? If the fuel... we don't need that much fuel, but we will put it in. If the fuel is greater than... I think it's 90,000. We'll do the trick. How much is in there? 100k, yeah. If the fuel is greater than 90,000, output a green tick. And we'll put that one on there as well. So now we've got 2 green ticks. It's counting them. And then what else did we want to know? Charge fuel. Maybe it was just the... maybe it's just going to be 3 of them. And then what we're going to... where's my ship? I need my water ship to come back so I can remember this part. What we want to do is say if... let's connect this up. No, wrong end. Got to put at the back. If we're on the planet 747, so we've got to choose planet symbol, and you have to get this right. 747. Then output a tick. So now we have 2 ticks. We wire this up. And if I put a red wire to the... and what is it saying on the output? Output the signal of input count. I want it to pass everything through. Oh, no. So output... okay. What's my other ship doing? Is it in space or is it... Here it is. Okay. Ugh. This is the tricky stuff. So, this is a a liquids transport I invented. So, I didn't invent all of it, but it is pretty cool. So we have water greater than 95k, tick. Fuel, tick. Charge, tick. If the planet is 747, or if A is 747, tick. It's not. In this case, we're in orbit. So if A is 748, which it is because it's the orbit, if the charge is greater than 75, tick. And in this case, if the water is less than 5k, but I know for a fact that this is pretty full. There's not enough. It's basically chocked all these tanks up with water. And so then what it does is it fires all of these to an input here. Oh, that's what it does. Which also receives... let's have a look. So the input comes in and it picks up the ticks and other signals. The destination signal and the launch signal. That's right. And then it passes them through. Yes. Okay, cool. So that makes sense. It will be good. Don't worry. It's all good. So this is the destination. So it's going to take all of those ticks and pass them through. And then we're going to give it a constant combinator, which is going to set a couple of different things. Where are you? So this little bad boy is going to have some signals on it. The first signal it's going to have is spaceship launch. That'll be telling the ship to go. It's going to have anchor on the right to the port on the left. So this is saying, is that right? That one. So it's saying this 66 will need to connect to 66 at the other end. And the destination is the orbit 748. So this should automatically take off once we pass it through. Oh yeah, so we're going to put this input there. So it's got all these red signals and a green signal. And as you can see now, what's coming through is, and if you look over on the right there, is a signal that is the destination, the lock commands for the latches at the side, and a launch signal. So as soon as I connect this to here, it's going to launch, because the signal here has been told to go and get on with it. And now we need to have a speed setting as well. Why won't it engage? Alright, I'm going to hit engage. We'll see if that fixes it on the way back. And we can see here kind of cool stuff, how fast we're going, time to destination, stuff like that. It should. Ah, it won't. Ah. Okay. Well, that's a pain. We'll figure it out. And to actually return, we actually kind of have to do the same thing over again. So there is a lot of fiddling with logic in the in this system. So we want to have charge greater than 80, fuel. I actually don't care about fuel because I know that we have enough to get back if we started off with 90. And this combinator here, which will change to 2 because we've only got 2 input values. So what I want to say, and we'll put this box in as well, except all these values will change to the planet 748. So that's setting the destination again. So now it's just a matter of wiring this up. This one goes here to here. These 2 red ones go to here. Green one goes to here. No, not that far. That's the exit to the input. And now this one is reading. Might as well just do the. What is that? That's output signal equals 748. No, that's not what we wanted. Oh, right. No, what are we looking at? So the original was charge, fuel, planet, planetoid. No. It's A. Okay, that's... Yeah, getting carried away. So what comes out of this over here is the current destination. So we're saying, are we at 748? Yes, we are at 748, which means we can set the return direction. And that one was 747. So now what we have coming in here is 2 ticks, which is good because we want 2. And out goes a launch signal. Yep, this should work this time. Doors close. So this is setting the outbound to the orbit, and this is setting to the planet. If it's actually willing to travel. Strange. Still not working exactly perfectly. In this one. In my other one, it's beautiful, and I thought I could easily recreate it. What can you do? Getting up reasonably quick in a little ship. Wonder if we'll see the lasers fire. Yeah, there we go. Just taking out some space junk in front of the ship. And anchor, except that's not working right. I am going to cancel the launch signals on these till I figure out what's going on. So when this one comes back, we'll have a play with it. Now, what I have been messing around with is the idea of loading trains onto spaceships, which you totally can do, which I'll show you. I thought there are ways to do it with a single-headed train, where the train loads in the bottom, for example, and then exits out the top of the ship. That seems to involve some compromise, like some fiddling around with logic, and I didn't want to do that, so I chose not to. Instead, what I've been looking at is this is the kind of idea for this. Imagine this being a spaceship. It flies. It takes this ship, there's trains with it. Like, using trains is a really quick way to load and unload a ship, because what you can actually do on any of these vessels is put chests. No, where's an example? So you can put, I don't know, let's make it a bit realistic. You can put a chest, you can have an underground belt, it would have to be a white underground belt onto the chest, and then you can pluck stuff off and fill and unload as well. The downside to that is that I might just specify those. The downside to that is that there we go. I think it's kind of slow loading, right? Whereas you can load a train as fast as the train can run onto the ship. You still have the issue of needing to load the fuel, but it's not the end of the world, I would say. So here's an experiment, and I'll show you it working with a train loading on a ship. It's currently poked out the side, it's a little ridiculous, but here's how the rules are set up. So basically, two-headed train, imagine this was actually in a big train with some wagons between it. It goes to the planet, so we'll tell it to do that. Reaches, loads up. When it's full, it comes onto the ship. Then I've got it. This is actually in space, so I actually had to take the ship to space to set the station. I believe in the new version you don't have to do that. And then it goes to that station, and then it comes back and it waits on the ship, and then we repeat. The only challenge is that if you don't set up conditions to tell it to pause when it's on the ship, it will just shuttle back and forth, which is highly annoying. So, because it'll just skip the ones it can't reach. So what I did was I wired the console up to the station and passed through the signal, so it picks up the signal. And what it does is, when it's on the ship the first time, the ship has to be docked and the ship has to be in orbit before it will go and try and leave the station. And then when it's left the station in space and come back to the ship, it won't try and leave till the ship is again docked, and this time on the planet. And then it go all the way back to the top and do the planet station. So now let's orbit, please. We'll fly. Oh yeah, engage. Go, go, go. Zoom, zoom, zoom. I'm trying to get run over by my own train. So yeah, it's kind of hanging out the side of the ship. A little bit embarrassing. Not the most tidy way to fly a spaceship, but you know, what can you do? And hopefully I can catch up with that other ship up there. That would be cool. And then everything else would just be governed by game logic. You can have it, I'm certain, check. Actually, can you? Yeah, there is actually a decider combinator signal for a station. Where the station is going. This one's actually, when a train is stopped, a signal is sent with a unique number for that train. So this is kind of a pain. You have to read the signal, and you can say if T. Actually, if I put in like a little power pole or something, and we'll see what the value for T is. So as you can, oh no, what are we doing? So T has a value here of 3,300. You can see it in the top, in the bottom right. Every train has its own unique value, which is kind of annoying. So you need to put in almost like two combinators, and each one of them puts out a tick, and you just give them different values. This might be train 1, change that to like 1, and the other one, if you had multiple trains, 2, 3, 4, and as long as those were greater than 0, you know, so greater than 0, output a tick with an item count of 1, and as you can see, or you maybe could see, there will be T is greater than 0. What are you doing? T is greater than 0, then output. Oh, maybe it's scrolling off. Anyway, I'll just put that. Maybe I'll just put that there. output to there. Now I'm confused. 1, that's true, it's train 1, it's great. Yeah, so now we have the tick box. The idea being that that's how we would test whether or not the train, the thing was loaded. Let's just dock our personal ship over here. I haven't set this up automatically because it's just for testing. And then out goes the train, which almost ran me over. And then it's going to come back. And then it's going to wait on the ship where the ship is docked, which is great, but the ship is in the wrong place. So then we launch for Norvis again. And then when we get there, it'll do that little loop again. So, point is, we can actually load trains onto a ship. The thing I worry about is that a train wagon has 40 storage slots. One of these big boys has 512. And also, what would we take? We should eventually probably take everything and just no longer worry about sending cargo rockets to orbit. Definitely do all the fluids. Yeah. Oh, this is being a pain. And out it goes. Oh, I'm going to try and just squeak out this little gap here. And then it's going to sit there and wait. So let's get on this thing because it's confusing me. So, tick for water in the hull. So that's just, you can see there's picking up the four tanks. They've got 25,000 in. It's currently measuring 99,000 water, so it should be outputting a tick. It is. Fuel greater than 85k. It is currently 71k, so it is not. Charge more than 75. Charge is currently 100, so yeah, that's good to go. And the current location is 747, so it knows we're on A. It's going to pass all of these to the, if it equals this, then output the input count, and oh, that's the constant, and that's the destination and launch. Okay, cool. Yep. Oh, almost got myself run over. All right. So we need one just little everyday combinator, which says the speed and the latching. This is destination and launch, and this should be destination and launch as well. And this one should be destination and launch. Okay. And oh, this one, come in. Yeah, that's going to just keep it ticking over. That it should try and set its speed to 100, which it won't ever reach with these little engines, and then it should dock at 66 and 66 on Nauvis. But one of the nice things is it looked like it did all the movement automatically. So once it knew where to dock to at Nauvis platform, it's just ready to go. So that actually feels relatively straightforward. There we go. And now it's going to turn around and go all the way back again. And I will... Now, why are you doing that again? This seems suboptimal. And you guys should... Oh, 748, 747. Okay, did I get it? No? Oh, God. Okay, stop. Okay. Now stop. Okay, stop. Go to planet 747, go to orbit 748. Alright. Now go. Oh, thank goodness. I should fix it. What are you doing? Okay. Okay, I need to see the 748. Okay, get off the ship. What does this one have? Oh, is it because of the color? Have I just locked out? So that one's got the signal there, and the launch state plugs into this, which then passes it through. I feel like this thing is phasing in and out of reality faster than we can stop it. Oh, yeah, oh, that could be. Okay. Ah, out of rocket fuel. Okay, it keeps trying to take off. Man, this is confusing. Spaceships, eh? So it's going to keep trying to take off because it doesn't have any other choice about that. But I will at least get some fuel sorted so we have a chance. No, that's the wrong book. Oh, we don't even have our right gear on us. Oh, a little bit of our right gear. Okay. Space Exploration mod, man. Just when you think you got it mastered. Okay. We have some undergrounds. There they are. Pump. And some pipe. Alright, so at least we'll get fuel in. What is it trying to do? It gets all these conditions, and then that says go to 7. Oh, that's passed on the input, and then that goes to there. This one says input to that input. Oh, so that is 1. So if you're at 7, what is this one passing? It's passing. Oh, no. Oh, it's got no working signals. This has some output signals, but not the. So that one goes to here. That should be fine. And then this one is picking up an output and an output. It's happy. And then these all combine here. So it's sending the launch signal. Oh. Okay. It was input count. It exits 1111. Input count. You see how it changes the planet, changes from 747. 1 goes back to 1. Input count 747. Okay. I think we better make sure that input count. There we go. Oh, thank God. Okay. Cool. Has it even got enough fuel to? It must have enough fuel. It won't fly otherwise. Oh look, it's dropping. I can look at it on the right hand side over here. 6. Oh no! Don't be stranded. 3. Oh God. 1. Now just land. Oh, thank God. Okay, wow, that worked. Hello, Miguel. Okay, what should you take to orbit? You will need to take some scaffolding. Quite a lot. You'll need to take some air canisters. You should take a cargo landing pad. A landing pad. Like, one of these, right? Take a cargo landing pad. and you're going to name that like orbit, Nauvis orbit general or something, right? And I would take one of these rockets. I would take a bunch of big boxes if you have them. Hopefully, have them installed. Just take like 20 of each, right? And a few hundred inserters. I just use green for everything these days. You're going to need space belt, space splitters, space underground. I think you have all those. Because what you want to do basically is you may even want to bring up 2 of these. The first job you do is get your platform down. Everything's going to crash, so most of that you want to carry in your inventory. Like maybe fill up a rocket with platform if you can. You'll lose a good chunk of it just crashing. And bring up drone ports and maybe like 500 construction and 500 logistics, something like that. And then once that ship is just going to fly back and forth endlessly now, which is kind of a pain. It's waiting for the fuel to get up. Oh, why isn't it flying? So yeah, you want to bring up that amount of stuff. Then what you would want to do is put down your platform. You'll send up all your future rockets to it. Like have a rocket down on here, which for me was this monstrosity. Just no questions, no judgment. Oh hell, how much junk am I sending up? All kinds of weird stuff is going up with this. So you have a rocket with a big box next to it, and you just summon into that rocket when you're in orbit whatever you need, and then you send it, and then you pick up the stuff at the other end, which will start to be more and more platform. I have in orbit like kind of landing pad area for fluids, which isn't really that great, to be honest. There's a few ways it could be better. Fluids land in barrels, one type of fluid per rocket. The barrels get ripped out of the landing pad. The cargo rocket sections and the capsule go into boxes to be taken away, and the barrels go into here to be unbarreled, shoved in here, and then this fills back up with barrels. And when it's full, it tells it to return to the water barrels box, and then there's a one for different oils and so on and so forth, all the different fluids. That becomes a thing. You want a fair bit of space for that. Why is this not taking off? It should have. Has it got 3 signals? 748. Oh, it doesn't have the launch command. And I'm going to turn the launch command. Okay, so that would actually just work fine. So that is a very terrible rocket that we are going to just destroy it. I'm going to put a like a tank of gas here. I really hate losing all that fluid. That's jolly good stuff, that is. That should be enough to stock it. Yeah, that'll do. So we'll drain all that way and then empty this whole thing off. So the concept, I think, is proven that we can send 2 space trains, and we have this fluid container ship. So I'm going to build another one for the next set of fluids, which I think I want to be petroleum liquids in, because we just use a ton of it in space for all the different things that we do. Is that empty yet? Oh no, it's taking its sweet time. Alright, so once the petroleum comes in, we're going to build a big fluid wagon ship, and I suppose I should blueprint it, but I have a feeling that every one of them's going to be relatively unique. Because shipping stuff by barrels is really terrible and annoying, because occasionally the barrels backlog or something weird happens, or you just get a log jam where there's a landing site is overloaded, and yeah, stuff like that. Okay, that stuff coming in, good. Yeah, like you can probably see how I did it way back in videos 1 or 2 or 3. I started off with most of them all built and just skipped through to see what I did. I made a lot of mistakes. I've settled quite a few planets, so you'll get to see a few different attempts at doing it. Let's take out all of this. I do quite like that way of doing the clamp though, so that's good. Yeah, I want to probably move all of this. We'll just nuke it. 16k. Yeah. They make these things make quite good fuel storage tanks actually. It has changed quite a bit, and Space Exploration, well, the big thing has been Space Exploration 0.6 release, which I don't have, which has space elevators. Space elevators are going to make your life a heck of a lot easier. You won't have to do like this. And one of the things I realized today was when looking through my information, cargo rockets, I've launched 31,000 cargo rockets, which is just completely mental. And do we do that? So let's build ourselves a fluid rocket, get it hooked up in space, and then we will set on with things. So this is the first one I built. It's probably fine. It feels a little bit overkill. I'm not 100% sure. I think maybe it's a bit heavier than it could be, which obviously slows things down. So what we'll do is set up a. Well, here, where should we put this thing? About here. Kind of want to have. Do I want to make it like a. I mean, how much do we want to fill? That's the question. That's. Like, that's a lot of fuel. 3x3? Or 3x4? Maybe one more. Okay, so we got this. And we will need to fill it. And looks a bit weird when it has the slightly off center, doesn't it? We're going to have to add another row. Or column. And I think we will add them this side for. Do we? I do cut. Hey, your ship, you've gone. Okay, good on you. That's a lot of petrol. Oh, that's not an unreasonable amount. Okay, so what we want to do is put, we've got to put down the right grounding stuff now. So, what does it look like? Yes, that's about that all around. And I will expand this, but we're going to just start with a base square. Alright, so what we need is the space pipe at the appropriate entry points. So I think I'm going to put one here and here, because we're trying to jam as much fuel as we can into this thing as fast as possible. So we're going to need a number of places that it gets fuel pumped into it. Okay, so that's going to be those. And they're all going to come in from over here somewhere, right? It will need to be a little bit bigger. So it's going to need walls around it. And I'm just hitting minus for a couple of times. And some of the pointiness factor we can fill with like salt. Oh no, that's going to be too far. It'll be fine here, but probably not in space. Oh, okay, well, fine, but we'll do that. So, at the back of the... How blocky is that? That seems really blocky. Can we put a console? I was almost thinking of making it kind of asymmetrical because it would be cute. Console. How terrible is that? Okay, I get it. Okay, we'll put a wall around it. Come here. Alright, let's just put our wall around the whole thing, and what does it say now? Alright, how happy is it with that? So check the shape. Oh, 100% streamlined. Okay, that's fine. So up here we will definitely put a couple of the old shouldn't need much more than that. Can we jam in a... Actually, let's just turn all these down. Yep, let's just remember to save before we forget. Save on ground. Cool. So we should... I'd like to jam a couple of accumulators in here. Perfect. And somewhere back here we'll tear this up and prepare the back of the ship. So that's fluid storage. Heaps of it. Absolute monstrous amounts. And back here we will need space for the controls and everything else. I didn't check the structure. You don't want to go over a certain size or things get messy. And I might make it a little asymmetrical because I think that would be fun. It's the Corellian in me. Can I... Where are you? Where are you where I want you? Oh, there they are. What does it think now? Start integrity. That's not big enough, but that's fine. Oh, the whole stress has got heaps of room for more work. Spaceship design in Factorio. Who would have thought it? Yeah, maybe one more row. It's a bit blocky, isn't it? But oh well. Do some doors. Yoink. There you go. Door, console. Can't even have it like a little... That's kind of cute. This is 1 too wide. Unless we... Thinking. No, you don't want the door right up. That's probably fine. So we do need to cut out the back for the engines. How many engines do we want though? I kind of just could put a nacelle over to one side, right? Kind of weird. How much would be required to take off? To go to Nelvis orbit. 300. Oof. That's quite a lot. Let me check. Whoa, okay, that's fine. So this bad boy has 2 full tanks. 399, it needs 164. The tanks may cause... actually, might load it from the back. I'm a bit worried about when you double connect up pipes, you get too much stuff going back and forth. I don't know why this allows me to land the space pipes here, but does this also... this does give me room for a little bit more stuff if I want it, but I also do want this to be here and some kind of clamp. I've been doing them on the right hand side, so I sort of feel obligated. Could I just do one off the side here? I'm pretty sure they're 2. They snap to the grid in a weird way. That's just weird to me. Nope, but at least it sort of fixes this weirdness over here. Okay, so easiest way to do this is to put this there and then to put in the clamp we want. Really? It seems terrible. Okay, maybe we do that. Have a weird little bridge. Yeah, that probably works better. What did I even do on the other ship? I destroyed it, so who knows. And then... okay, hang on. Okay. I mean, it's not completely terrible. It's a Nelvis orbit. Come here. So to take straight off, these booster rockets are going to need 312 joules. which I think I need to jam them further back, or we may run out of room, and we will just to run it underground. Alright, so they're going to pick up the fuel from outside, which is fine. Those two accumulators are probably enough. Can we jam another in? Can we get a solar? I'm actually thinking maybe this is just a bit too overkill back here. Oh, especially with that one being kind of semi-underground. What can we do exactly? Yeah, it's okay. It's looking alright. I'm sure I'll come up with better ideas at some point. Okay, you don't have to connect to everything. You've got this joint now. So this is going to be ID 3. I know we'll go with 2. What are even you? You are clamp. Oh, you're clamp 2. We'll better not do that. I thought you'd be clamp 3. Okay, clamp 3. And you're clamp 3 too. I feel a bit like that's a lot more, but then again, I'm able to pump an absolute ton of water into that ship, so this one is going to have to be more measured. This is probably good for a more general purpose vessel. So let us fix the problem of it's not really a problem. Let's load this thing up. Can we? We can try. This one, just go straight into there. Okay, cool. So we've got two different sets of things. They're jamming fuel into here. They're going to jam fuel into here at... Yeah, it's not too bad. Like, this is the thing that can be really slow for some reason. I am surprised at how often this is traveling. I put a priority on the stations, but the water stations must be pretty lowly used by now. So now we've got to jam the logic in. Everything else should be there. What's it looking like for fuel? And a 312 is required, and it has 53 over 100. So it's going to get up to nearly 400, which I think actually will be enough, because you don't want to overdo it. So now we need to do the logic system. We take a green from here to here. We... Oh, ow. I've given myself a sore shoulder. We want to pump in a default set of stuff. So I could almost put that down here, I suppose. It would seem weird. I'd probably have to walk across it. And that would look weird, having the cables run back and forth. There we go. So we'll put this one here, and we will pump this straight into here. And it is going to set the speed at 100. And it's going to do one other thing. What was it? This one was doing it. No, it wasn't. Who knows. Speed at 100, and I hate the way I can just walk through the ship like that. Can't help it. The clamps, that's right. So the right clamp 3 is going to left clamp 3. So we'll worry about that when it gets into space and we actually set it up with clamps, because it won't have any when it lands. The ship looks kind of shocking, actually. I'm gonna be fairly annoyed at it. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's okay. You. You push that way. Do I need to do more than that for the pipes is my question. Like, do I need a pump from outside? I'm not sure. Should pump, push, push, push. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, that's going in there. And this lot we will have fill in. Type is that? Just pipe to ground? Okay. Okay. So in theory those will fill up really fast. Those are actually full. Systems check. Yeah. That's the right amount. That's basically perfect for what I want. For the right amount of fuel for the journey. Those are fine. So another signal we want is 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to put on the fuel quantity. So they're at 54k. We're going to want to jam in the... can I just hopscotch to there? Yes, I can. So put out the value C for charge. So now we've got a charge value, fuel value. Fuel tanks are the other value we want. So we want these at 180k. Speed is -2. This one I'll put here because it's kind of cute. No, it's the, what am I doing? It's the wrong one. I need the decider. The lockable. Oh, that's the deep space splitter. Cool. I need to keep those. All the wires. That looks a little weird, but hey, whatever. So when speed equals -2, output a green tick, and if open condition is green tick equals 1. There we go. So it's going to stay open until we take off. Nice. Right, so now is the actual logic part where I try not to break everything. Okay, so that's that. So now we want the outbound combinators, which I will go 1, 2, 3. One of these and a decider is at 4. It's the charge, the thing. Okay, so this is going to have the destination, which is 748, and we'll put the launch on it because why not? So that's that. That goes in on a, I'm going to put this on the red wire. This is going to be green, 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 and then green, green, green. So, A equals, we're on the planet, 747. Output a tick, which is doing. This one needs to be charge is greater than 75. Output a tick, which it is doing. Oh, we actually do need one more. This one needs to be the amount of fuel. It needs to be greater than 90,000, which, oh, hang on, are you? Oh, yeah, output a tick, which is doing. And this, oh, this one isn't actually connected. There we go. This one needs to be the amount of jet fuel we have is greater than 190 or something. Right? No, that's weird. Is greater than about 190 will probably do the trick. 90k. So and that then will output another tick, which it's doing. So when ticks equals 4, output everything with the count. So now it's outputting the 3 ticks. Tick, tick, tick. Oh, I see. Because bang. There we go. Did it do it before? Maybe it didn't. And now with that, telling it destination and launch, and this one with the everything coming in ticked, it's going to send the launch command, which it will do. Womp. And 100%, 100%. I think the first time I have to tell it to do it. You what? It's got no fuel. Well, that was silly of me. So, it did actually know what, I think it knew what it was doing. I like the little animation when it doesn't have any charge though, that was cool. Enough lasers at the front, here comes some rocks. How fast are we going? Not very. It doesn't have a destination. Oh, that's why it couldn't land, because it didn't actually have a landing spot because we haven't set one up yet. So it didn't know where to go and nervous all of it, so it just hung around waiting for us to tell it. So what we're going to do is land. Think about here will do. Yes. Womp. And then it's going to do that. Okay, cool. We can afford to get rid of all of this now. Little train experiment is done. If you think of a good thing that I can load up on a train, or why I would use a train over, say, lots and lots of containers, do let me know, because I haven't figured it out yet. I'm not saying there isn't a good idea, I just don't know what it is myself. Did we destroy that ship? What is that ship? No, this was the... No, who knows. That was the dumb ship that we tested with, so that should also go away. And we'll just rip out this infrastructure. Alright, cool. Okay, so we now have that. This here. You are number 3. Cool. Now what we need to do really is get all this stuff off. I think we will do that like this. Thankfully I'm always carrying a little bit of space stuff with me these days. Gonna pull this one in one. And you can hear the water ship is going back and forth pretty hardcore. So, no, it's not this one, it's the Spacebook. Liquids out. Let's load up this bad boy. Something like that. So you will... No. Where are you? That's taken from there, and we'll put a priority provide on this. What I want to see happen is just basically not anywhere near as many ships actually taking off anymore, to be frank. This station here is going to get more overwhelmed than the others, just because it's going to have that lot unloading into it. This one is going to be not as frequently used either. And finally this one. Cool. So they're draining away. Still has plenty of fuel. So now we need to do the return journey. And really I would like an engine room in a ship like this. It bugs me that I haven't got the pieces I want. I feel like I want to get down with a bit of paper and figure this stuff out, right? So... input. Okay. That's how this one's going to have to be. It's going to take green 1, 2, 3. Then it's going to take 1, 2, 3 in. Red in. Set that, except it's going to be the planet 747. Yes. Read everything, and that's going to be 3, and output everything is a 748. If 748 is true, which it is, output 1 because we're on location 748, is the charge greater than 75%? Yes. Is the fuel this needs to be less than 10k output 1. So what have we got left in here? Actually, we'll make it even less. It's the last little dribbles always take forever. Every bloke over 50 knows that. Ho, 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 ho. Output 3. It says output, output, output. That goes to there. Why are you not outputting? Output. Okay, let me have a look. Green stuff's coming in. Bonker, bonker, bonker. Then it's outputting. These aren't outputting because they're not. Outputting for that. Outputting for that. Outputting for that. To here. Oh, red cable's in the wrong location. Input. And now it knows where to go, and it's got the commands. And so it should take off. I could probably just connect it to the butt end of that. Yeah, no problem. Actually, that looks ever so slightly tidier. It's still going to have the same signal going through. In this case, 748, 1 and 1, and it's flying, and it seems to be doing a fair clip. Yeah, actually, it's going pretty quick. It's getting a little low on fuel, but... Ta-da! Ta-da-ta-da-ta-da! We automated a spaceship! Yay! Woohoo! It's a terrible spaceship, but it's automated. And now it's being filled up again. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 8, 12, 16, 4, 8, 12, 16. So it actually arguably needs... It needs a couple of buffers. Otherwise it might drain it and then not have enough. You want to have a little bit more storage, I would think. Maybe we'll just put one in. That way it's just like a little bit extra, just to pump in that final drip. Are these all full? They are all full. I kind of think that I might need to do that after all. Otherwise it's going to potentially slosh. Like just goes back and forth, I suspect. Ugh, bit of a pain. So many pumps. Harder here, but not impossible. No, I mean, that's kind of working. What are they looking at? Empty. Oh, not. Oh. Bang. There we go. That solved that problem. So no wonder it had kind of stalled. Alright, it's looking pretty ready. What are we looking at? 83, and we've told it to take off on 90 something from memory. Yeah. Oh, we actually do need to go back up because I want to set the priority on the stations, which did I do that? Oh well, can't hurt to do one more trip. Here it goes, wonk. And our absolutely terrible looking Millennium Falcon is away. I've got to do something better than that. That looks god awful. I swear I did a better version. Something different about the clamp on the other ship. Looked way cooler. Take out those asteroids. Oh, see, that was a big one. Needed all 4 of them. And landed. Yeet. That was a terrible thing to say. Provide priority 2. So, really, game, use these. Stop using the rockets. Nope. No, what? No. Provide priority of 1 is pointless. I don't have anything that isn't 1. Okay, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. 2. Okay, we did it there. So that one's... Yeah, okay, cool. That's heaps. I mean, it's actually just physically, it's also heaps. One of the things I have done around the place when I have a ship, which I quite like, is just to rip up the ground around them, just to make it look a little bit more like a... Oh, no, we're not ready to go yet. Just to make it look a little bit more like a space dock. It takes a little while, but it can look quite nice. And of course a little bit extra around the engines. Actually, one of the things I have not checked, what do we call this? Petrol. Can I type right on my ship? Wow, that's amazing. I can at least name my ship, which is cute. I do appreciate how much faster this is than the water vessel. I suspect just due to the streamlining might be a reason, but possibly weight and just the lack of container stress. Yeah. And on the ground, I would typically fringe my vessel with some high-vis so that people don't get themselves run over by the dangers of this ship. And when I say people, I mean it's only me, there's no one else on the world. And then this part is always a pain, so I just generally don't bother. Yeah, stuff like that. So I think that's probably enough for this episode. Just as we get 4 people, we've managed to automate this whole thing. The only tragedy now is that we're at the mercy of the trains keeping up, because that whole round trip was actually pretty quick. The fuel seems to be fueling fine. Yeah, fuel is going in fine, but petroleum is not. Electricity is fine. Didn't even need much, but the petroleum landing here is not as quick as I would like. I don't need the recipe book. Do we have much in storage? Yeah, we have 1.1 million units of petroleum in storage. So that says to me that I should probably put in yet another station for it and bring in yet more petroleum. No, not 5,000, 50,000 a go, which hopefully will suffice to speed things up a little. There's a sort of a... Well, actually, I know what one of the problems is. What am I doing? Under the mod settings for LTN, how many updates per tick? 20. I basically have so many stations, I have to bump the amount of... the amount of checks, that's it, the amount of checks that the game does for stations that could use, so immediately FPS will drop, but then you start to see more and more stations will suddenly tick on as the game is checking stations more frequently for what they want, which is good. It's just a little bit of a pain. Just another buffer tank. Yeah. I mean, ideally, I wonder if putting the tank right behind the pump would be better. Curious. I've not seen anyone do like a lot of discussion of ship designs. I've really had a hunt on the internet for it, and I've really struggled to find much, which is a shame. I guess everyone just does their own thing. no one's like super proud of what they do get up to, because there's a lot of just really average ship designs out there, which everyone would be the first to agree with, really. Yeah. So this thing's slowly filling up. What's it looking at? 88. That's actually pretty close. That's pretty quick turnaround. Like, that's quicker than our cargo rockets could launch. Just because the barrel loading takes forever. I love it when the ship goes womp. And I kind of wonder what would happen if you put water underneath it. Would it crash the ship? Because it'd be kind of cool if they landed over like a little pond with a dedicated stuff. I could test it. And the other big question I have for myself is what to do, or how we will handle loading trains. Because what you could do is just basically have... Okay, no, you absolutely could not do that. You could have like 2 trains loaded in, and I've even got the non-smart stations. So you just put them in, double-headed train, and build a ship around them. Put in a couple of wagons. And you just send that whole stack in and out of space, which it can do. And you wouldn't want to involve the LTN mod for that. I think you just have to use normal train logic, or you're going to have yourself a really bad day. But on the other hand, that's a whole lot of hassle for a total of 160 slots. So what would be worth sending only 160 slots of stuff up to orbit? That's my question. And then putting it onto the train network, and just have this go back and forth, doing 160 slots a go. I mean, you could probably do 3 trains. Then what you're going to have to do is have, like, let's say you have this area. Unloaders, like several unloaders for goods. And then you're going to have to put it on belts and swing it into a train station where you've got a train or 2. Put them into 3 waiting pens, load them into a spaceship, or the other way around. Load them into a spaceship and then send the spaceship away. And then when the spaceship comes in, it's got to unload 2 waiting pens, a couple of trains. So there's always 2 trains loading and 2 trains in transit. And then you've just got to have probably an entire grid, maybe 2 devoted to it. And the other option, of course, is just to put down a bunch of large chests on a spaceship and just fill them on one side and unload them on the other, sort of thing. It's kind of... Oh, and you'd then have the undergrounds in and out, through the walls, bonk, maybe like that. Whatever you think you can keep up with. So on and so forth. So, it's probably good. It's just not very quick, but the volume carried is also way bigger. So it's probably really more sensible to do that. And what I would think of doing is actually moving over to in orbit. Is that good boy? Is I'd probably set up almost like a grid per major product type, like stone, copper, iron, steel, stuff like that. Those are the big ones that do come up fairly often for me. And then just send all that junk straight up in big piles. I do want to get more fluids going up, so I need a ship like this for each of the fluids. I still kind of want to reconfigure this whole ship, rebuild it. I think it probably... Is that sufficient? I mean, there's a lot of fluid here, so... And this one isn't fully out. Okay, that water one is going really well. And what I should be seeing down here is... The funny thing is I'm still seeing water taken from here. So I don't know why that is. Oh, I see, it's just topping off these big tanks. So arguably pretty soon these whole two here will stop. And so will the petroleum, which is here. That's already looks like it's stopped. And that's good. And over here we're seeing, look at that, finally our this, whatever this stuff is, production is basically running at full tilt, because we have a just massive pile of water at all times. It's gonna need lubricant a bit more, but wow, we've actually got cosmic water backed up. Cosmic water's backed up, chemical gel's backed up, which might even mean that our bio gloop is finally not... How are you looking? Well, I mean, all this is working. Yeah, we're actually seeing the station backed up. Amazing. And there's another big... Here you are. Yes, you're backed up too. Great, 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 great. This is the one I'm... okay, and you're not backed up, but you're actually running, which is, to be honest, a heck of a lot better than what I'm used to around here. So you're producing... Good. Where's the purple stuff? Here. Okay, what are you short on? Pink vats. And you are made... You are made there, what? Okay, weird. So a train is coming to pick that up. Oh, we clearly need more. Yeah, we need more inputs over here. There's 2 only. One of them is coming... And I could have sworn there was another production. Yeah, there's 2 trains backed up there. I could have sworn there was another production facility for pink. Here it is. And you're not getting anything. Why not? Nutrient gel is short. Why is your nutrient gel short? Because it's not being made. Why is it not being made? Coal. Yeah. So coal is an issue. It looks like we're short on this planet. That is something that 36k and 98k total. All right. So coal, we have to sort you out. So that's probably something I will do between episodes, try and get that coal production back up, because look, there's coal out here. Yeah, there's plenty of coal. So it's just a matter of getting the old minions out here to crawl around and nuke some junk. Get some mining going, and that might be one of the early cabs off the rank for spaceship loading, because we can saturate a whole grid with stations full of coal, and that should keep everything ticking over. Are you actually out here? Is there something? No, we mined all of that a long time ago. So yeah, I think that's probably about all from me for now. If anyone has any final comments, you can get your questions in while I hunt the map for coal. It's a bit ridiculous, this jolly map. No, that's not coal. Plenty of oil. I think that stuff's all gone. Tons of stone. Yep, that's gone. Yeah, such a pain. Yeah. So, short on coal. We'll fix that. And until next time, I've been Tony Pirate. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this and learning a few things about spaceships. We really are short on jolly coal. What a pain. Can I make it somewhere? I don't think I can. Well, we will just have to go and hunt for it. I'm sure there's a bit more out there that I can capture. There's plenty of stone, so there must be coal somewhere. Small amounts, annoying. So until next time, I've been Tony Pirate. Thanks for watching. I hope I'll catch up with you again soon, and good night.